Hi and welcome back to the channel. Now we've got a new project just arrived here, and it's outside the workshop, so I'm standing just outside the workshop doors there. So let's flip the camera around so you can take a look. Here we have a Peugeot RCZ. Now, not a common car to see around. Basically, you've got a fairly standard sort of looking Peugeot front end, a rather unique kind of bubble roof and rear screen. It's got a flip up spoiler in here. Now this particular car, a little bit of a project, and please do drop some comments down in here about what we should be doing with this. Now there's a few things that need taken care of, one of which are these alloys. As you can see, the alloys need a little bit of attention. Now look at this front one here. Now, to be fair, they weren't as bad as that when we first got this car a couple of weeks back. And unfortunately, a certain wife has to put her hands up to misjudging a corner and scraping them on the curb. Never mind, we've got to fix them anyway. There is a bit of lacquer sort of lift. Do excuse the cars going by. I picked a quiet moment, now all the traffic arrives. As you can see, there's a bit of lacquer lift there, so we've got that to deal with. Now, there's a few issues with this car that we've got to work on. First of all, on the rear end, it kind of feels a bit like it's trying to steer you from the back a little bit. So there is something untoward with the rear. I'm suspecting sort of rear shocks might have gone. So that's the first thing there to do. The other things to take care of, I think, if you look around the back here, twin tailpipes on that side, nothing on that side. I think that could really do with a 4-pipe exhaust. What do you reckon these to that? Do let me know in the comments what you think. Have a discussion amongst yourselves as well. See, what do you think we should be doing with this car? So we've got suspension, possibly suspension bushes as well, perhaps. Also, tyres is the other thing. We've got a Continental that side, a Pirelli that side, and then on the front we've got a pair of tyres that I've not heard of before. So I can't even see the make on them, but they're obviously budget tyres on the front, so that's not going to help the handling either. Now the other things inside the car, the stereo's a bit dated, so it's I don't think you can even see in there. There you go. I should have brought the keys with me so I could open it, but there you go. As you can see on the dash, you've got the old CD player and push buttons. Maybe that needs a touch screen, you know, like Apple CarPlay, Android sort of system. What do you reckon to that? Should we keep it all standard, or should we do a few mods to it? So what else is there? Do let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll get this car into the workshop and we'll start doing some jobs on it, and we'll start taking care of some of the issues. There's a few little bits like that there I'm touching in. So yeah, there's a few little bits on the paint. There's a few little bits and pieces around the car where we can improve it. And this will be a daily driver for my wife. So we've got to kind of do something nice with it. Do let me know what you think, and we'll get cracking on this project fairly soon. Anyway, so if you've not watched any of my other videos, do take a look at the channel. Do click to like and subscribe. You click the subscribe button, you'll be able to see my other videos there quite easily. We do lots of motorbike stuff as well as car stuff. Hi and welcome back. We're just going to get cracking on some of the first jobs on the RCZ, and there it is in the garage ready to get started. We're going to take a look at the rear end on this first of all, and we're going to have a look and see what we can do with its slightly wayward handling, and see if we can see anything untoward, bushes, suspension, anything like that. So let's get cracking on it. So what, you reckon we've fixed the weight distribution on this car then? Yeah. I think that's got the weight balance back about perfect now. What do you reckon? All you got to do is ride around in the back the whole time.
Breaking the floor. Oh.
Is that a good plan or what?
No.
Yeah, it would be great if we had an actual ramp, proper lift to lift this up. So, yeah, if there's any manufacturers of lifts that are out there, I've seen some rather nifty ones that you can slide underneath in a confined space. That would be good. I forget who makes them though. But it would be good. It'd be nice to promote that for someone. But this is what everybody else is dealing with. Somebody forgot to undo a wheel nut, didn't they?
I cracked that.
We're going to have to go down again, aren't we?
Yeah. I cracked that loose.
You say you cracked it loose? Yeah, okay, if you say so. But this is us working in confined space. But this is also what every other regular guy has to do out in their workshop, is they haven't got a lot of room. They don't have these big flashy you know, units with immaculate floors and every possible tool. They're all working in a confined space and sometimes out on their driveway. Yeah, you forgot that one, didn't you? Put it horizontal, stamp on it. Well, we've got the wheels off. That's a good start, isn't it? So we've got the car nicely up in the air. Now, obviously, safety first. You need to make sure that you've got, you know, more than just a jack under it. We've got jacks and we've got axle stands under there and a flat lifting platform. Now, we've pulled the spring off of this side. And we were kind of wondering whether or not the springs had gone, you know, whether they were a bit saggy, because it did seem to sit down a little at the back. We've got brand new spring there, and as you can see, the free length, it looks the same. So it doesn't look as though that's going to be part of the issue, really, of the wayward handling is the springs, although a new spring is always going to be a bit more compliant than an old one. So having got the new spring in, the good thing with this type of axle is once you actually drop it down with these beams, you can pivot it down enough to let the spring out without too much of a drama and get the new one in. And then it's just a case of winding it up. Now, you can probably see that the type of jack I'm using there is the sort of Peugeot Renault type, where it's got a slot in the top, which fits nicely onto the lug on the bottom where the spring goes in, so it can't slip out. So that's rather useful. And there's not a great deal of force on that. You're only lifting the beam. And you basically are just going to wind this beam up until it lines up so that you can get your shock back in. So that's all it takes, really. Now, as I was about to wind up this side to put the shock back in, I noticed this joint here, look, this bush. Here's a bit of a close-up. Can you see that's all disintegrated up inside? This is going to be the culprit. This is going to be the reason why we've got that wayward handling. That whole side is going to be able to move backwards and forwards as well as up and down. It's going to allow the axle to come out of alignment. It's going to cause us all kinds of weird handling, and that's what we've been encountering.